Well, when you're a prosecutor, you're a hired gunslinger to put people in jail. You don't look at their occupations, their education, their emotional situation. There's no involvement in trying to make the system work a little better for the individual who's committed the crime. I found that as a defense attorney, I look more towards what's the background of the person, how did that person become into the situation that you're representing them on, what values does that person have that you can present to the court in mitigation of punishment. But oftentimes if you look at situations and have an opportunity to evaluate more information than just what law enforcement gives to you, you might realize that there's some exceptions here that might not be as good a case for conviction as the society would want. And when I have a person who's a client, I see different factions of that person's personality that may cause the reason for the crime to be committed. I've represented people 5, 6, 7 times. The chain of recidivism has to be broken somewhere. And unfortunately, it's broken with their death. The oldest person I ever represented was 87. His last conviction was for distribution of cocaine, and he had a life sentence at 87. He wasn't an addict, he was just a man that made a lot of money. He was in Time magazine. He was called the King of Cocaine in Louisiana. He was an electrician and lived a very frugal life, but made a lot of money with the Ochoa brothers out of Colombia and donated a lot of money to St. Augustine and Dillard. He was a white man, but he had close relationships with, and they didn't know what he was doing. They thought he was an electrician. He told me as he was got the life sentence, he says, "Don't worry about me. I need 2 or 3 operations. I know I can get him in jail." And they probably spent, $250,000 on operations on him. And he died when he was 92, so in jail. And prior to that, he had, 30, 40 convictions. Been in jail more than been out. Why do people continually go to jail, get out, commit crimes, go to jail, get out, commit crimes? A lot of it has to do with the culture of their personality. The community around them was enjoying a certain quality of life, a certain standard of life, and they didn't have that standard or that quality of life, whether it be an allowance every week or certain food they could eat or certain things they could do. So there's a deprivation to a certain extent. And so to break out of that deprivation, crime might be an answer. Money has to be poured in as early as possible with volunteers and with a community effort to try and capitalize on making someone a better person, a more positive person. The older a person gets, the harder it is to change their value system. So I'm a believer in the earlier you can get to a person and to a family, whether it's in the formative years, the kindergarten, the early grade school, the better situation you will have in the community for less crime. Everybody's in an uproar because there's too much crime. Well, where's the uproar at the early formative stages? It's a tough question. I don't have the right answer. For all these years, I don't know who has had right answers.